Welcome, everybody, to Bible Bites, where we're reading through the Bible one small bite at a time. My name is Pastor Dan, and I'll be with you as we walk through Matthew chapter 12, and we are going to look at just verses 22 through 29. This is a bit of a longer passage, so I had to break it up. So we'll really kind of cover part one in this video, and then the next video we'll cover part two of what is happening, these circumstances that Jesus is speaking into. So let's go ahead and let's read. Then they brought him a demon-possessed man who was blind and mute, and Jesus healed him so that he could both talk and see. In this instance, we have a demon that had possessed someone, creating muteness and blindness. So we can see how demonic activity can actually impact our physical bodies. And today we don't really, at least in the West, we do not give validation to the fact that there is still demon possession. Thus we deny some of the physical, the source of some of our physical issues in this world, because we deny demon possession, really. Okay, so Jesus heals this man, and it says that all the people were astonished and said, "Could this be the Son of David?" That is a title for the Messiah. Could this be the Messiah, the one who was to come in the name of the Lord, the one who's going to conquer all the enemies of God, the one who's going to be a blessing to all the world? So they're asking this valid question: is Jesus this Son of David, this Messiah? But when the Pharisees heard this, they said, "It is only by Beelzebul, the prince of demons, that this fellow drives out demons." Now, Beelzebul is really a name for Satan or the devil, as it says, the prince of demons, one who kind of oversees all the demons. Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom stand?" So Jesus is basically saying, listen, this is ridiculous. Why would Satan drive out Satan? Why would Satan drive out his own kingdom and cause a mess in his own household? He wouldn't do that. It doesn't make any sense. So Jesus continues in verse 27. "And if I drive out demons by Beelzebul, by whom do your people drive them out? So then they will be your judges." So Jesus is saying it, again, this ridiculous statement makes no sense, because if I'm driving out by Satan, then who are all your people driving out demons from? So it appears that the Jews, that there were exorcists, people who drove out unclean spirits or demons. It might not be, this doesn't mean it was common or it happened a lot, but apparently the religious leaders, the Jews, were aware of it happening. And so Jesus is saying, why would you say that that my power is derived from Satan, but their power is not? So let's continue, verse 28. "But if it is by the Spirit of God that I drive out demons, then the kingdom of God has come upon you." So here is the conclusion of this whole matter that Jesus points us to, that if truly I drive out demons by the power of God, right, by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God is here in your midst. It has come. And again, the ludicrous nature of the religious leader's statement that Jesus' power comes from Satan, just Jesus just, says that makes no sense. That really is crazy. So But so Jesus is saying, yeah, the kingdom really now is in your midst, because it is by the powers of God's Spirit that I drive out demons. And then verse 29, and we'll end with this one. It says, or again, how can anyone enter a strong man's house and carry off his possessions unless he first ties up the strong man? Then he can plunder his house. So Jesus is saying, listen, in order to cast out demons, one has to have power and authority over Satan, right? Over the strong man. And it makes no sense, again, if someone in Satan's own household is actually binding him, right? Keeping him from allowing the demons to be driven out. So again, just ludicrous statement by the religious leaders, but Jesus is saying, but if I do then drive this out by God's power, the kingdom of God has come. Okay, so we'll continue to look at Jesus' words. There's a hard statement coming up that a lot of people wrestle with, but we'll address that in our next video. But this is what we see happening as Jesus heals this demon-possessed man. It creates this conversation, and the religious leaders are really struggling with who Jesus is. They don't want to admit that he is the Messiah. For various reasons, they don't want to admit that. But their eyes have been closed, and yet Jesus is saying then to them, the kingdom of God is here, and you won't acknowledge it. I hope that you acknowledge that God's kingdom is in our midst. I will see you in our next Bible Bites videos. Be blessed.